This is Senegal Travel Guide, and in this video you will find everything you need to know before you head to this beautiful country.
Welcome to Senegal!
ñu ngi leen di dalal jàmm fii ci Sénégal.
dalal jàmm Sénégal.
Welcome to Senegal! Welcome to Senegal! This colorful country in Western Africa is my 73rd and I'm super excited to be here. In this video, I will give you all the tips that you need, and there is some really important information, so don't skip sections, just go through the entire video. If you have any more questions, feel free to write to me on email or Instagram, check out my TikTok as well while you're at it. And you can always comment as well. So, let's start! Visa for Senegal. Now, I didn't need one because most countries from Europe, North America do not require a visa. But if you do require one, it's not very difficult to get, honestly. The only thing I would say is make sure you have a yellow fever vaccination card, because without it, you won't be allowed to enter, probably at the airport. I crossed in from Gambia and they didn't check any of that. They just took my fingerprints and just stamped my passport and they let me in. But yeah, make sure you have that just in case. This is the currency of Senegal, Central African franc or CFA, XOF as well, and it is shared by a bunch of Central African countries. Colonial legacy, I'm afraid. There is talk of a local currency, CEDEAO. Not sure when that will come into being, if it will. Now, I would recommend when you land, take plenty of cash with you. Card payments are not very common, only big businesses take them. You will need cash, you definitely need cash. And when I was crossing in from Gambia in the south, for 2 days I couldn't find a single ATM that worked. Entire cities, ATMs were down. So keep plenty of cash, especially when you go out of bigger cities like Dakar or St. Louis. So that's the main thing. It is a moderately expensive country. So food is not that expensive if you go to local places. Your accommodation and getting around are the most expensive parts, and tour probably as well. So keep plenty of cash, come prepared. It is a little expensive, like most West African countries, and you'll be fine. I found a little weird thing in Senegal where the banks charge you but don't tell you about the transaction fees. So I've checked like a couple of times. I've definitely been charged, but there was no mention of it on the screen, so be careful. Senegal is really colorful and fun, but you need to come here fully prepared. So I created a playlist for you that has food, travel, and itinerary suggestions, as well as a lot more destinations. Click on the link above to find out more. Getting around in Senegal is much easier than I expected. The roads are in fantastic condition and they're building more and more every day. Honestly, I'm coming from the Gambia and the roads there were dismal. So these seemed like, super highways to me. So if you want to drive, definitely a good idea. I'm going around with my driver and the car, which I think is a sensible idea, especially because I don't speak the language. So I would recommend getting your own car or going with that. There's also public transport and shared taxis. But honestly, I don't know, unless you're like really adventurous, the conditions are not so great for that. If you want to venture out on that, you're free, feel free to explore. Orange is the best SIM card to buy. There's a few companies, but all of them are pretty bad, and Orange is bad as well. It's just that better than the rest of them. So outside cities, pretty much no signals are really bad ones. In the cities, it's not that great either. Data is a little expensive, and yeah, it's not that great here. So Wi-Fi is available in cafes like bigger restaurants, not everywhere again. and data is again expensive, so not everyone can afford it, unfortunately. I had to pay for Wi-Fi separately at a couple of places where I stayed. Senegal is much safer than I imagined, to be honest. I was expecting that I would have to bunker down everywhere, but I didn't feel that at all, especially outside in smaller cities in the countryside, you know, down in the south. And up in the north as well, St. Louis. I was just walking around on my own in the night, no problems whatsoever. The only place you need to be a bit careful is Dakar, because a big city, you know, like all big cities, you never know what's going to come at you. So just make sure you're not using your phone with your window rolled down, or not on the street when someone can just take it away and snatch it and run. So that kind of stuff. Otherwise, you know, use your common sense and you'll be absolutely fine. The most difficult topic for this video, the people of Senegal. I met some amazing, genuinely amazing people in this trip, and I always feel like my heart heals when I come to Africa. It's not just because of the scenery, but also because of the people. But it's the other side of things. So people related to tourism, or people at tourist places, they kind of treat all foreigners as sort of, you know, cash cows, which makes me sad, because then I could ignore them, but also start questioning, you know, genuine interaction, because was there an ulterior motive? Were they expecting money? And that's not a good thing, honestly. The other thing that makes it a little bit annoying are the policemen. So in 3 days, they stopped our car when we were going to St. Louis and coming back about 11-12 times, clearly trying to extort money. And that's not what you expect from the policemen, right? So it just put a little bit of a damper on the whole thing. One other sad thing that I learned was, you know, I see a lot of guys exercising on the beaches, and I was like, hey, that's amazing. And someone just burst that bubble by saying that they're doing that because they can impress some, you know, European or American women, and they could marry and go back with them. And honestly, I just wanted to sit and cry, because that's one of the saddest things I've heard in such a long time. Oh, well, yeah, I hope you find really amazing people here, because there's plenty of them. The best time to visit Senegal is from late November all the way to February and March. That's when the temperature is fairly moderate. I'm here in October, just after the rainy season ended, and it is really hot. Seriously, I lose about 2 hours, 3 hours a day, because it's so hot I can't go outside. It's like 35 to 38 degrees, and it's really humid as well. So choose the right time. Don't be like me. You can see the main highlights of the country in about 5 days. That's a pretty good time. I'm spending about 7 days because I'm crossing over from Gambia, and I went all the way to St. Louis. Now, if you have more time, you can go inland, and there they have more national parks if that's your idea of exploring a bit further. But yeah, 5 days is a minimum. 7 days is a good time. If you drive and speak possible French, you don't need a tour guide in Senegal. If you want to do like a bit more in-depth inland type thing, I would recommend a tour guide. Otherwise, you don't. Just follow the videos, especially the itinerary video, and you'll be able to get around very easily. The infrastructure is really good. There's plenty of information. Everywhere you go, like the little tours, you can easily talk to people on the street and get those. Be careful, because the people who are on the streets most of the time, they do try to lure you in with higher prices, so you always need to haggle. Sadly, that's how it works here. There are quite a few languages they speak here in Senegal. Most of them are tribal and local, but the main European language they speak here is French, and it's really adorable because they actually pronounce the R. English is not common at all. Only a few people speak it, so make sure you download the French language pack on your phone. You will need it, trust me. I'm sure you want to find out some more exciting, amazing places to visit. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so I can bring you some more. Make sure to bring plenty of insect repellent. Seriously, the bugs can be really sticky here. And also anti-malarials if you are susceptible. I'm definitely taking them because I got malaria when I visited West Africa last year. So make sure you are adequately prepared. Also bring a hat, sunglasses, and plenty of sunscreen. You don't need me to tell you that, right? Make sure you're not taking photos and videos of people without their permission. It's actually considered really rude here, so always get permission before. Most places in Senegal look like this, and people are honestly trying their best to make of a really difficult situation they find themselves in. If you're looking for a clean, European style holiday destination, this place is not for you. Come with the right mindset and you will have a lot of fun because people are really nice. One of the saddest thing I had to deal with this whole trip was begging, especially young boys. And honestly, it's not nice. As much as I wanted to give them money, I don't think it's a good idea, and you're sending the wrong signal to them for the future. So I would suggest, honestly, support local businesses, local restaurants, so that money goes to their parents and then they go through school, and this is not the lifestyle they adopt. I know it seems really harsh, but that's the way things work here, sadly. Now that you have all the information you need to travel to Senegal, here's the video that gives you the itinerary. Click on the link above and meet me there. This is Rambo Travels. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Do subscribe, like, and comment, and do let me know what you think. We'll see you in another beautiful destination, another beautiful country, or just eating my heart out in some other place. See you next time.